Hello everyone, Kelly Simas here, reporting from Iquitos, Peru at the Temple of the Way of Light. I'm here to discuss my second ceremony, my second ayahuasca ceremony that I had last night. So I'm just holding on to my phone here, so if the camera's shaking, I do apologize, but this is the best I can do because I don't have a tripod. Alright, so it was interesting, beautiful experience. I was the first one to go up to drink the medicine, so I was called to go first, and so I went up, and I was a little nervous, and the dosage, which was a lot more, not a lot more, but it was more than the previous night, because the previous night was more of an introduction, as I mentioned in my first video. So this ceremony, the second ceremony that I just had last night, was a much, just a little bit more of a higher dosage. And so I was the first one, like I said, to go and to drink the medicine. And before everyone had a chance to go around, and before the lights went out, I was already purging. This wave of grief and sorrow came over me, and I just started bawling, and really strong. And I was really surprised that it took over because I wasn't expecting it. And so I was just sobbing, and at first I was concerned that I was disrupting people, but I had to really let that go, because it's not about that. It's all about allowing the purging to unfold naturally and not to hold back. And so, yeah, I just started crying and putting my hands down, my face down on my hands, and then just seeing the darkness in my hands and the visions of the geometry, and just all these patterns were starting to show up, and I knew, I was like, okay, here we go. And as soon as the lights went out, I was really deep already in the medicine, and things were getting dark, and I was seeing visions. And at one point, though, I said to myself, oh my goodness, oh my God, I'm all alone. And that fear came over me, but literally it lasted maybe a minute, not even, and then I just started to rise up, and I was feeling really high, and my vibrations were rising so high that I was just shaking. And this ceremony, I made an intention to sit upright, because the last ceremony I had lay down because I was so exhausted. So this time I made an intention to sit up as long as I can throughout the ceremony, which was amazing, because I got so much out of it, I believe, the second time. The first time was great. This time I was able to rise up and just experience more of that higher vibration, and I was surrounded by Mother Earth. Mother Ayahuasca was surrounding me with so much love and so much protection, and I felt like I was surrounded by the fairies. I just felt like there was fairy energy all around me, and it was quite lovely. And so after that, I wasn't feeling sad anymore or scared. I was actually feeling quite grateful and happy, and I was laughing again, and my inner child was coming up, and I became this beautiful child of the jungle, of the earth. And Mother Ayahuasca was embracing me, telling me how my innocence is so real, and that it's okay to laugh again. Just it's okay to laugh, and it's okay to have joy even in the midst of healing and pain and sorrow. And so it was quite beautiful. So I didn't cry as much in this ceremony as I did the first ceremony. There was moments where emotions did come up and I cried, but then just having so much gratitude, because so much more compassion and just so much love, and I just felt so grateful to have these experiences within this experience here at Peru, and the people that I've met, and just reflecting on conversations that we've had, and just laughing at certain things, and thinking of my best friend Karen, because she's with me here, and just laughing at her little quirks and mannerisms, and just appreciating her even that much more for being my best friend and for being on this journey with me. And just a lot of reflection about my relationships, my family, just sending them so much love. And I just kept hearing, like, it's all a choice, Kelly. It's all a choice, whether you want to be sad or whether you want to be happy. Like, the power is in the choice. And so I was shown that a lot of my choices have been made through pain, choosing to go through pain, choosing to be unhappy, choosing to resist what is, and that's what was causing a lot of my suffering. And so it was quite simple, the lessons. I mean, it wasn't anything, again, major. It was just the most simplest but most profound inner knowing. And I mean, I can say this out loud, but once you actually go through the experience of being told this, it's so much different. The energy and inner knowing and being told this and shown this, it's such a different experience. I was taught a lot about judgment and how not to judge myself through my process of being human and just being who I am, and therefore not judging those around me and not creating stories around how they perceive me or how I perceive them. And I was realizing that a lot of my perceptions and a lot of my thoughts around who said what and what did what and what happened, it's all stories. It's not even real, to the point where I was being shown that none of it is really real. It's just figment of my own pretty much imagination because of my programs and because of my conditioning. But it's all about letting go and just continuing to be in the present moment and embracing just the love that surrounds us. No matter what we perceive things to be, it's never what we think it is. Ever, ever, ever. Things are never what we think it is. And that was what I got out of that a lot. And again, just feeling so much immense gratitude for the medicine and for making me feel like this part of me that's so full of joy and giggles and laughs. And I never smiles, like my smile and how I was smiling and laughing was so genuine. Again, just like the first ceremony, it was very childlike, and it came from my innocence, and it was such a beautiful energy to be in. And again, I was laughing at myself when I would just do certain things. Like, I was so concerned that I had to have Kleenex in my hands just in case I had to cry or something. And I remember noticing how I was gripping onto that piece of paper for comfort, even though it wasn't really doing anything. If anything, it was getting all sweaty in my palm. But I remember thinking, even if it's just in my hand, I feel comfortable with it. I don't want to let it go, even though I'm not really using it. It's not really useful to me at this point. So I kind of giggled at that and let that, Kleenex go until the next time when I felt like I need to cry. I would grab more Kleenex, and then after a while I would still be holding it. And like I said, I wasn't crying as much as the previous ceremony, so I only just dabbed my eyes, and then I was holding this piece of paper, or this piece of Kleenex forever. And then, again, the symbolism of let it go. You don't have to hang on to it, anticipating more tears and more sadness and more hurt's going to come, and you can let that go. And if it comes again, great, grab more, but you don't need to hang on to this piece of Kleenex for dear life. And so that was really interesting. And so just laughing at these parts of myself that needed to know exactly where my blanket was and needed to know exactly where everything was. And yeah, just a lot of purging, going to the bathroom. I didn't throw up again, so this second ceremony I didn't throw up at all. And I just felt really, again, the high vibration. I kept shaking, my legs kept shaking. At one point I felt like I could fly, which was incredible. And again, just feeling so much of that feminine divine energy. At one point I was feeling like a goddess, and just feeling the beauty of my breath and my sighs and just being in that energy. And a lot of people were having a hard time in the group. A lot of people were purging some serious stuff, and because I'm an empath, normally, I take stuff on very easily with people around me. I take people's pains and challenges and things like that. I can take it on very easily because I'm such an empath. But I felt like I was cocooned, and Mother Ayahuasca was saying, you don't need to go there. When I would hear someone purge, or when I would hear someone have a rough time, it's like my mind, it's almost like I felt like I almost needed to go to the darkness and experience that. But then I was like, no, I don't want to, and I don't need to. That's theirs. I'm in my bubble of playfulness and joy and innocence and feeling really happy and just continuously letting the healing take place. I felt like my body was being upgraded in some way, and working with my digestive system, working with the energies around my body. So lots of healing has been taking place here during that ceremony. And yeah, just sending love and light and just feeling happy in the midst of whatever was going on around me. The purging, some people were having a really hard time, and that didn't have to affect me in a negative way. I was still in a place of almost bliss in a sense, or just happiness and just contentment. So that was really, really powerful for me. And honestly, I know I've only done 2 ceremonies here so far, but it's like I kind of had the expectation ayahuasca was going to kick my ass. Like I thought she was going to take me to the depths of hell and make me face these incredible fears and all that. But what I've been told, or what I've been shown, is that she actually is choosing to be very gentle with me. And she says that I don't need to go there unless I want to, but I don't need to go there. And because I've already been experiencing so much, sorrow and pain and sadness and being in a dark place, that I don't need to go there again. And she made me very clear that she doesn't want to frighten me. She wants to show me what's already within me, and what's already within me is the innocence, the innocent child. So my inner child was getting full attention, and she was feeling very loved and appreciated, and that's what she needed. Because, I try to have this relationship with my inner child, but sometimes it's hard. Like, we neglect our inner child a lot because we're so conditioned to act like adults and to get things done and responsibilities and pressures of life and all that good stuff. So I was definitely shown that my inner child deserved this time, and she enjoyed it very much so. And the music was amazing. The Icaros, the maestros and maestras, did an amazing job singing. So I was able to sit up most of the ceremony to receive my own individual songs. Before they started singing, I seriously felt like it. I felt like it felt like an eternity. It really did. Longer than the first session, the first ceremony, the first ayahuasca ceremony. It definitely felt like it was a long while before they started singing. But the second ceremony, it felt like an eternity. And I kept laughing at that thought, because every time I caught myself getting impatient or saying, when are they going to start singing, or it's been forever, I would start laughing, because I was laughing at my ego. And I was able to laugh at my ego. I was able to laugh at the obscurity of my mind again, of the impatience and not being able to just embrace the present moment. And everyone had a different experience. Some people in my group felt like the silence was very short and very quick, while the songs and the singing lasted for a very long time. For me, it wasn't that way at all. It was more the silence lasted a long time, and the music wasn't as long. So it's interesting that everyone has their own experiences. Okay, so what else? Yeah, I was again feeling really high, and needed a lot of help getting to the bathroom. Could barely walk or see what was going on, because it was really deep into the medicine at the beginning. And I just felt like, for me, it was so special because they chose me to go first. And it's almost like I gave the whole group permission that it's okay to purge. Because like I said, I started bawling my face off before the lights went out. So I felt like I kind of led the group to just embrace that and to start purging, because as soon as I started crying, the lights went out. Soon after the lights went out, then people started kind of purging already, which was pretty interesting. I felt honored. I felt honored to have that experience. And I got tired really quickly. I came down. I'm not sure what time it was, but yeah, it was interesting, because at one point I was like, oh, I think I could go for a second dosage, because they offered us a second dosage of the medicine if we wanted. But then at that point, I didn't know what time it was. I had a feeling that the ceremony was about to end. I'm not even sure if that was true, but I knew at that point, because my stomach, I had gone through a lot of burping and purging the other way, digesting. My stomach was still feeling kind of off, and I kind of already knew that if I did take a second dosage, that I would probably throw up, because I felt that just imagining taking the medicine, I felt like I could possibly throw up, and I wasn't quite ready for that the second round quite yet. So my intention for the third ceremony, which is not tonight but tomorrow we get a break. Tomorrow my intention will be, as soon as I find myself coming down a bit, I will take a second dosage, because I do want to continue going deep for as long as possible during the ceremony. And so yeah, I got definitely tired before the end. I took a 3-hour nap during the day yesterday, before the ceremony, and then I slept pretty well after the ceremony, so I feel really good today, really rested. I could go for a ceremony today if we'd had it, but but it's okay. We're definitely experiencing a break tonight, and yeah, and number 3 will be tomorrow. So yeah, lots around just, letting go of thoughts, letting go of, what this person thinks of me, what I should have said this, right? I should have said that, how people perceive me. It's all stories we create, and letting go of judgment, because everything is perfect and divine in its own way, because we are all learning. We're all learning. That's what she kept telling me, Mother Ayahuasca, is that we're all learning, and don't beat yourself up, and don't beat other people up too, because we're all still learning. We're all still children of the universe, trying to find our way. But at one point it was kind of interesting, because I was trying to go back to certain things that were bothering me, and certain things that I was perceiving as whatever it was. I was being shown that that's not actually how it happened, and that's actually not the truth. It was just my own perception of what that was, which was not even real. So I thought to myself, oh my God, that really didn't even exist. It was just something I made up. So that was really interesting as well. Yeah, and today we got to talk about our experiences, and my friend Karen was having a lot of connections with me. She connected to one of my spirit guides. She told me one of my spirit guides her name's Sophia, and she's like the mother goddess. And Karen was able to tell me that, I have such a motherly energy. And at one point during the ceremony, I felt like I was a goddess, and I felt like I was constantly connected to my body still, and moving my body and rubbing my body. And I was being shown that, whenever I get stuck in my mind and whenever I'm going through stress, I need to connect more with my body. And yes, I do yoga. Yes, I do that kind of stuff. But that's just maybe 1 hour out of the day, sometimes 2 if I go for 2 classes. What I need to do is continuously move my body and nurture my body and massage my body and get that energy moving, and that's going to release a lot of tension and stress and the busyness of the mind, connecting to my body in that way. So that's something I definitely got to work on. The food here again is so amazing, and I've been eating quite great here. And I think those of you who don't know me or who already know, like, cooking is not my forte. And so the cooking here and the food here is so amazing, and I'm really going to make an effort when I get back to really stick to a healthier way of eating earlier in the day, not so much later in the day, and eating healthy, because it's simple stuff that I can be eating. This is the ayahuasca diet, but it's such nutritious food and delicious food. I don't feel like I'm neglected at all. I don't feel like I'm missing out on any delicious foods except for maybe chocolate, but other than that, it's all delicious, and I've been eating really well here. The jungle's so beautiful. This place is so magical. And during the ceremony too, I was feeling in the Maloka, our backs face the jungle, and I was feeling her presence, the presence of the jungle behind me, and it was just so comforting and so soothing. And just feeling much closer to my friend Karen, just feeling so much gratitude for this place, and it's just the beginning. I can't wait to continue this journey here. And again, I'm in no rush to come back to Canada at all, but I'm really working on that. I need to really work on making peace that I may have to come back, that I will be coming back at some point, but I'm feeling very drawn to come back to Peru at some point. But we'll see. I mean, I'm trying to be as open as possible to everything that's going to unfold, and not to push through things. That's another lesson I was learning, not to push through things and try to make things happen, because that's how I am sometimes. It's like when I put my mind something, it's like all or nothing, pushing through. And she was showing me that sometimes I need to work. I actually do need to work on moving through things more gracefully, and with more patience and trust, and not forcing things to happen, because it all should be happening naturally and effortlessly. And so yeah, I think that's about it, guys. I look forward to sharing more with you. I hope you enjoy this video, and God bless you. I'm just trying to figure out if there's anything else I need to say. I think that's it. So I'll talk to you soon, and I'll share my next video soon. Take care. I love you all. Bye.